Hey everyone, it's Kimberly Bueno-Schoenig. Welcome to KBS Consulting, and thank you so much for watching my video. I got a ton of positive feedback on my last video, so I really hope this video is helpful for you. Today, I'll be talking about how to know if entrepreneurship is right for you. Now, I'm bringing up this topic because I think it's something for you to really consider if you are seriously thinking about starting a business. And I'm not trying to say this to discourage anyone from pursuing a business idea, but I do think it's important that when you are seriously thinking, or if you're contemplating on if you should start a business, these are a few points to really consider and ask yourself to help you determine if entrepreneurship is the right pathway for you. So the first question that I think is very important to address with yourself is asking yourself if you think that there is a need in your community that you feel passionate about fulfilling. And the part that is more important in this question is determining if you feel passionate. And what I'm trying to say is if you don't feel passionate about your business idea, if you don't care about your business idea, then it might not necessarily get to the level of success that you'd like it to see because you're not willing to put in the time, effort, money, and resources up front in order to build a strong foundation to help jumpstart your career. The second point I think that is really important is asking yourself if you feel like you're the type of person who likes to take ownership of your work, setting a direction for yourself, and if you're comfortable with taking risks. And the reason why I think this is important is because having a business means you're ultimately 100% responsible for the successes and failures. You are the CEO, you're the CFO, you are the analyst, you are the receptionist, you're pretty much playing the role of every single employee in your business. And if you're not willing to take ownership of that, then you might not necessarily think this might not necessarily be the right pathway for you because you don't necessarily want to be taking on those other roles. And when I say that you're taking responsibility of the failures is that there's going to be a lot of mistakes that you make. And I think these are important mistakes for you to make. I think there are some mistakes that you can learn from other people, but ultimately you are going to make mistakes. And that's just the way it is in terms of the learning curve. I think it's important for you to make mistakes because of the learning curve, but it is what it is. You have to be comfortable with making mistakes. I think the third point in my question is if you're comfortable with taking risk. And what I mean by this is that because you're going to be putting a lot of time and attention into this, if you're not willing to put in your all, and if you're not willing to do things that you may not necessarily be comfortable with, or maybe is somewhat outside of your comfort zone, then you might not necessarily also see the results that you're trying to see. Building a business is pretty much kind of out of a lot of people's comfort zone. It might not be out of everyone's comfort zone, but for most people that are starting a business for the first time or trying to transition from working a full-time corporate job to starting a business, kind of out of your comfort zone. So if you're not willing to take the risk, maybe it's not the direction you want to go. The third point that I think is really important to ask yourself is if you're ready to work long hours, solve daily problems, have late nights, and have a very big learning curve. So this kind of goes hand in hand with a few of the questions beforehand, but I think it's more detailed and specific because really you have to figure out if this is something you want to do, because it's a very serious step and it's not something you should be taking very lightly. It is something serious, especially if you want to see your business succeed. I'm going to share a personal experience of mine. When I first started my business, I encountered tons of learning growth curves, whatever you want to call it. I ended up figuring out and learning a wide variety of things, whether it's from setting boundaries with myself, setting boundaries with clients, from having a strong financial model, from having a strong business structure, to having employees. These are all things that I never thought I would have to deal with. And I think that by having to go through what I went through, it has made me a stronger business owner, and it has made me a more well-rounded individual that I'm so grateful to be. And you know, if this is something that interests you, if you like, you know, experiencing that learning curve, then go for it. You know, I think a lot of people might not necessarily be comfortable with it, but if this is your jam, kudos to you. Keep going. The last part I want to talk about is you should definitely ask yourself if you're financially prepared and ready to cover up the costs of your business, or to cover the costs of your business. Do you have a savings? Do you have a financial plan if you need to pay your bills? These are all questions that I think is very, very important. And whoever your business mentor is, or if you're hiring KBS Consulting, we provide a business plan that asks you these specific questions, and we kind of walk with you step by step. But really, if I could go back in time, personally, I would try to keep my corporate job as long as I could. And the reason why is because I think it's much better to have a big enough savings that can cover 6 months to a year, just in case anything happens. And really, I think it is possible to start a business, you know, if you're just picking up side jobs. But if you're someone who is trying to transition out of a 9-to-5, I would try to transition out when you know you're ready to leave corporate and you can actually take your business full time. So that's just something to consider. I don't mean to bring this up as a downer if you're not in the financial state, but you're getting there and you will get there. It's just a matter of, you know, making sure you're asking yourself the right questions, maybe hiring a business mentor or coach like myself. It's important to make sure that you're being real and honest with yourself, and asking the right questions to help you determine if the pathway you're going is the right way. So that's it for all my points today. I hope this video is helpful for you. If you're someone who's been thinking about starting a business, who's been struggling with growing your business, if you're trying to transition out of your 9-to-5 to become an entrepreneur, I hope this was helpful. If you do not already know, KBS Consulting is a consulting firm that helps aspiring entrepreneurs and small business owners elevate their career and achieve their business ambitions. We are opening up enrollment on Monday, April 20th at 1 p.m. EST. So if you have been thinking about hiring a business mentor or coach, be sure to stay updated by following me on social media platforms. And if this is on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. The enrollment is not necessarily guaranteeing you a spot to become a client, but it is going to be an opportunity for you to have a discovery call with myself and my team to determine if it's the right fit for both parties. And I honestly think it's important to, if you think it's the right choice, to invest in a coach or mentor. And I'm going to make a different video about that later. But make sure you keep an eye out for the enrollment period, because I will be offering a special discount for those who sign up within a certain period of time. So yeah, I'm super, super excited for this journey, and I'm super excited to help people who really want to pursue their passion, their business idea. I think entrepreneurship is such an awesome space to really hone, develop your personal skill sets and your professional skill set, and really challenge yourself to become the person you want to be. So again, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and stay tuned. I'll be posting another video next week. Bye.